So finally, we get to do this after I probably was it like 4 weeks or 3 weeks of not watching Kamen Rider. Freaking shoot, it's been so long I can't even say it. Freaking Kamen Rider Geo. It's been a while. It has been a minute. What is going on, you guys? It's your truly, the Ryo Sakurai here, and welcome to, I believe, episode 4 of our episode review of this series, Kamen Rider Geo. And first, I want to get to, of course, as always, the intermission scenes that they have, but before they show you the episode, which is like, 1.0 or like 3.5 and whatnot. Well, the beginning of 3.5, I want to talk about because I found this to be incredibly funny. Because, of course, the actor that played it, that played Hojo Emu, in this, he was in this little take, and his whole thing was that he was trying to, do any spoilers and whatnot, but then comes along Aura. She slows down time and whatnot, and she basically explains the whole reason as to why they're called time jackers and why they're taking these random people and making them to like monster riders. Apparently, and this is by one of my viewers who commented on this, they're literally called another riders. That's as plain as I can possibly get it, as simple as I can just think of. They're all called another riders. And so they all basically get chosen by these time jackers like Aura, and I forget the kid's doggone name. It'll come to me when once this episode goes down. But yeah, she explains it all, and they're basically just trying to crown a new king, to replace the Omar Zio in their timeline. So how this ends is like she quickly leaves off screen with her cute self, and Hojo and Gates and the rest of them, they are trying to stop anything from being leaked or any spoilers. So they try to see what can they do. They try to persuade the writer. Then they try to eliminate the producers, and and the final idea was them to just destroy the company itself. And that was just funny as crap, because you see Gage just doing it like this. Yes, let's go. He was like, too weak, let's do this. So this little short episode was pretty funny. And Hojo, it's good to see him again with the dark hair and everything and whatnot. But yeah, on to the real episode 4. So, in conclusion to all of this, I like this episode. A lot. We find out in this episode that when another riders are created, history is rewritten, because Aura, she basically had stopped time while Xaid and Zio and Gates were all fighting each other. They were about to fight each other. And she restarted the Rider Watch and put it back in him. She has the ability to rip out, well, not to rip out, but pull out the Rider Watch, and then basically just turn it on back again, and you got another rider fully active. Also, in this thing, we find out as to why Gates is so adamant with trying to stop Zio from becoming the evil overlord, because of course, we find out that his family and his friends got killed while this overlord, Omar Zio, was in power. So he's basically trying to make sure none of that ever happens. And he kind of reminds me of how Kamen Rider freaking the secondary rider in Kamen Rider Xaid was and like how like he did everything, and how stern he was and how cold he was. Because he was a lot like that. They even hinted at the fact that he was a lot like the secondary Kamen Rider in X8. I can't seem to remember the doggone name for the life of me whenever I press the record button. But as soon as it comes off, I immediately remember. He wants to destroy Zio, the one that that really caused all of that to happen and whatnot. And the girl, I finally know the name of, and I wrote it down anyway. Her name is Tatsu, or I don't know. I forget how it was spelt, but I'm just going about how I'm hopes to at least, if she can't stop the Zio that they know now, she wants to guide him so that he doesn't turn into the evil overlord that destroys everything. At least she hopes to do that. But we also find out that the Zio that they know, that we know, the main rider, he still wants to become king, but should something ever happen, he wants Gates and her to take him out immediately. So he literally let them know at the end of this episode that he trusts their judgment, but I'm gonna do what I think is right. I'm gonna do what I think is right to help people. I want to help people. I want to be there for people. If I can be there for people, everything will be okay in his mind, because his dream is to be a king, and he tells Emu this in the midst of all this. Emu gives him the rider power, the rider watch. Also, the rider armor on Zio for X8. X8's rider armor is very good. As I was saying in the last review of this, I like the armor. Like, it was like these big gauntlets with like the gamer buttons on it, and you could just do all that and clobber them with it. Like, I like that. I honestly did. But also, another good thing that I liked about is that the time machine that Gates and Zio use, they can actually transform when they transform. Like when the rider transforms, when Zio or Gates transforms, the time machine robot can just transform and take the head of that specific rider and do all that and good stuff. In conclusion to all of this, at the end of it, the guy who, the victim who became another rider, the whole reason why he was doing that was because so that he could save his son. Because his son was suffering from, I think, heart failure, and it was too late at that point in time to save him. So he was desperate. He was trying to find a way to do it, and X8 was trying to reach out to him and tell him, like, this is not the way to go about this. And then, of course, Zio shows up, and he found out about everything. And he said that he told X8 because he felt like he was stuck and he couldn't help him. He said that, like, okay, I'm gonna let the doctor take care of the patient, but I got another rider. In terms of that, I got it. You take care of this and whatnot. Of course, once this other version of X8, from a different time, from the same time period, he comes out to try and fight his double ganger. He does good damage until he loses his rider power, and then Zio takes care of it and everything. So for right now, Zio, Gate, Tatsuyomi, they are pretty much walking on eggshells around each other because they know that what might happen could happen. So they're trying to stop it. And Zio was like, I understand and I get it. So if anything should ever happen, I trust you guys and you guys can take care of it. So to be honest with you, this whole episode, it was tying up loose ends in terms to those three, because this episode made sure that all three of them were on the same page. All three of them had the the same logic, like the same goal, because they're all trying to stop this terrible thing from happening to Zio, the current Zio that they know. So, yeah. I like this episode a lot. I honestly did. I think from now on, after this episode, I'm gonna do 2 episode reviews in one video, because currently we're behind. Right now, they're at episode 8, and I think episode 9 is gonna come right around the corner. So we're gonna be doing like 2 episodes each review, just to catch up to speed and just to, you know, speed up the process a little bit more with all this, because I am way behind on watching Kamen Rider. I'm way behind. Also, at the end of this, we get a little glimpse of the world of Kamen Rider Forze, and it's sad to know that the original actor who played the main writer for Kamen Rider Forze won't be in the next episode, sadly enough. But it's okay, because I got a feeling it's gonna be a good episode either way. So yeah, that's going to be it. Oro's cute. I like the rider armors, and I cannot wait to see how he's going to tackle another rider for Forze. So let me know in the comments down below what I kind of missed from this episode, what you would want to point out and take from this. And I will see you guys next time in the next video that we do about this. Next video is going to be the review for episode 5 and 6. I want to say 5 and 6. Well, 4.5 and then 5 and 6. I'll say that, because I like looking at the little short episodes in between. As such, this has been the Ryo Sakurai, and thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm getting up out here. Peace.